Hey, everybody! An old man's talking!
Today we're going to be talking about video games. And not just any video games, we'll be talking about my top 10 favorite video games of all time. I've played a lot throughout the years. I think you can learn a lot from somebody by the video games they played in their childhood and what they played over and over again. And I think number one will surprise people. Okay, let's get started. At number 10, GoldenEye on the Nintendo 64. Before that game, we didn't think that first-person shooters could ever really be good on a console. This brought first-person shooters to the console. It said, you don't need a mouse. You got this thumbstick thing, and it's awesome. And it was. The split screen, it worked. It had amazing maps, and it really proved to everybody that consoles could do first-person shooters really, really well. And number 9 on the list is Diablo 2. I had to stick a Diablo on here. I've played them all. Which one was my favorite? Of course, it's Diablo 2. It's still relevant today. Diablo 4 is great. I think Diablo 4 is the best overall, but it didn't have as much impact on my life as much as Diablo 2 did. All my friends played it. We played it all together, and the online change from Diablo 1 to Diablo 2 was so dramatic. So it was very influential on my development of how I played online games. At number 8, it's World of Warcraft. World of Warcraft is easily a lot of people's favorite game. I can't think of a game that I've played more than World of Warcraft time-wise. It was king, and I played it for 3 years straight, daily, for hours. And it was a game that showed me what online communities can be. I made what I would call real friends in that game, even though I've never met them. And I felt like it brought something new to the genre of video games when it come to organizing and planning, just strategizing what you're going to do for the next 5 hours. Because you'd go to like Molten Core and Blackwing Lair, build teams in this sort of thing, and lead it. They actually had to lead it. And so it brought a lot to the table. Number 7 is Warcraft 3. Man, oh man, Blizzard is just crushing it on this, I guess. I played all the Warcrafts. I played the first Warcraft when it came out, and before it was even popular. I got the first week it came out, and I loved it. I played number 2, but 3 is really my favorite. And a lot of people don't like 3 because Heraldcraft more than it was Warcraft. And I get that argument, but I like that aspect of it. And I was extremely good at it. I was ranked to the top 1,000 for like a week when the first expansion came out. I had a hard time with that one because I was so much better than all my friends, so I would just crush them so they never wanted to play with me. All right, let's move away from Blizzard and go to number 6. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the arcade game. There's a lot of button-mashing arcades that I can think of. X-Men, the Simpsons game, but none took more of my quarters than this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles video game. And when it hit the scene, it drew crowds. There was just a sea of kids sitting behind it, putting their quarters up, waiting for next term. And to be honest with you, it didn't take long because everybody would die, and you died quick. But it sure was a lot of fun, and it holds a certain place in my heart. All right, back to home consoles. We're going to go with River City Ransom on the NES. Some people think it's one of the greatest video games ever made, and I understand it, but the biggest criticism of this game is it was buggy as hell. And for me, personally, that doesn't kill a video game for me. Like, I liked Mass Effect Andromeda, even though it was like one of the buggiest games I've ever played. I can look past that. And River City Ransom was so far ahead of its time when it came out on the NES. It is such a good game, even now, and I play it on the Game Boy once in a while. Then number 4, we have a PC game, XCOM UFO Defense. This is the first game I ever bought on the CD. Everything else is hard disk beforehand. And this game was so far ahead of its time. The graphics weren't that great, but the strategy behind it and all the little customizations that you could do for your soldiers, your base, the loadouts, you could rename them, they leveled up. And it was just so fun to play, and it had long-term playability, and you just do it over and over again. I would just freeze the game in the storyline and just level up my soldiers, just enjoy the strategy of just murdering aliens. It was so much fun. Come to number 3, Street Fighter 2. I mean, what could be said about Street Fighter 2 that hasn't already been said? It is a revolutionary game. It is an arcade-making game. And if you weren't there when it first came out, understand that the crowd of people behind an arcade like this, just a line of kids just waiting to beat the guy that's beating everybody. And when that guy gets defeated, everybody just screams and explodes. And we finally beat the king. And then the new king is there. Now we got to beat the new king, and just tiling your quarters up. There'll be a long line of quarters just waiting for kid after kid after kid. And I'd never seen anything like it before. And it's hard to dispute what Street Fighter 2 did to the industry. We wouldn't have Mortal Kombat, all the SNK games, and just Killer Instinct. There's so many games that came from how popular that game was. And then after it even was in arcades, then it hit the home console and what it did for Super Nintendo and how many copies were sold for Super Nintendo. It's one of the most influential games in history, without a doubt. I've always been more of an Xbox guy than a PlayStation guy, but I liked PlayStation. But with number 2 is the king of Xbox. It's Halo. And I get the criticism of Halo now. The game wasn't very long. The development of Master Chief was great. They actually gave out a book with it when you bought it at GameStop. So I read the book when it came out. And so the lore of Master Chief got us. But what made Halo number 2 on my list isn't the one-player game. It's the multiplayer. And it wasn't on mine. So the way we played multiplayer is we all got together and system-linked 4 Xbox together. 2 in one room, 2 in the other, paid on 8, and we all got together and played. And we did this for a year, every Sunday night for a year. I was one of the accomplished at the time, so we'd party Friday and Saturday night, and then Sunday night we'd close early, and we'd go to my buddy's house, and we would play Halo for hours, from like 7 to 1 o'clock in the morning. And it was a party, so we'd have 16 people playing, but a ton of other people would show up just to hang out. And it was just 8 on 8 of just blood gulch and hammering it out. And it was the greatest time I ever had playing a video game. It's the experience. And what that game did was brought that experience to a lot of people. A lot of people did this at the time, and Xbox Live didn't exist. That overall experience is better than the game is, and that is why it's number 2 on my list. All right, before we get to number 1, I'm going to do some honorable mentions. I would say Doom 2 is influential. Mortal Kombat 2. Marvel Rivals Now, I still play that. I like that a lot. Haunted House on the Atari is about my oldest favorite video game I can think of. And I don't know why I played so much, but I loved that game on the Atari when I was little. Altered Beast, and then, don't judge me for this, is Genshin Impact. I played it with my daughters, and I still play it now. It's something we play together, and I've grown to love it. And then Legend of Zelda, of course. All right, my number 1 game of all time is a Sega Saturn game, which most people haven't played. Sega Saturn is a system that should have made it, in my opinion. But the number 1 game of all time, to me, is a game called Guardian Heroes. And what this game is, it's like if you took Golden Axe on the arcade and you meshed it with Street Fighter. So the moves you did were like dragon uppercuts and fireballs. So if you didn't want to do a fireball of magic, you would have to do a quarter circle forward fireball. And it was kind of like a side-scroller, but you used the bumpers to change planes. You had the bottom plane, the middle plane, and the up plane, and then you could do Street Fighter moves. Like you push up, you jump. And it was a choose-your-own-way kind of adventure. Like you chose which path to take. You have 3 options. You want to go to the village, you want to go to the castle, and so you could play it over and over again through all the paths, and you could unlock new characters and fight with new characters. But when you first play it, you hate it, actually, because you have no idea what's going on, and it is just pure chaos. And like, I don't like this. I don't really know what's going on. It's just all over the place. But what it is you control the chaos. And imagine, like, when you get rude at Street Fighter, you can just dominate somebody. It's very skill-based. It's not like regular side-scrollers is. And there's also, like, just like an arena battle where you just put, everybody just chooses a character and you just fight an arena against each other. But overall, you're fighting, I guess, story against NPCs. And I think there's a game here that they could make now. And I don't know of any games that have ever done anything like this before, a side-scroller with, like, that Street Fighter-esque feel to it, but they need to. I can't believe we've gone this far without a ripoff. And it's just because the Sega Saturn was never popular that this is like an unfound gem. And you to play on Xbox Arcade, it's on there. But I played that game for hours with my brother, for hours, just unlocking all the characters. It looked like, I wouldn't say it looked like crap back then, but the graphics have a hard time because they had to double it down a little bit. Because the system had to be able to handle it, because there are some crazy moments where the sprites just go crazy. Oh yeah, that's my list. That's it for this one. If you'd like this video, please give it a like. It would greatly help my channel. And if you have a list of your own, go ahead and put it in the comments below. Or even if you want to just talk about how my list sucks or what you like about my list, please, I want more engagement on the video as part of the reason why I'm doing this. All right, thanks guys.